The sixth and final rule of engagement is to understand search and have well-researched SEO, or search engine optimization. In this video, you will learn tips for brainstorming keywords, how to determine which keywords are the best keywords, how to compare keywords inside Marmalead, how to create your listing title and tags, and how to tag long-tail keywords that exceed 20 characters. Now, we already did quite a bit of background on the Etsy search algorithm in our previous lessons, so you're well on your way to understanding the algorithm far more than most sellers who approach the Etsy platform. And because you understand the taller test, you already know that the only places you need to focus in terms of SEO are titles, tags, attributes, and categories when you're first launching. Categories and attributes act like tags and are best shown inside the back end of an actual Etsy listing. So I'll show you those in our final two lessons when we launch a shop. It's important to know that while categories and attributes act just like tags, they require no research. You simply select the most relevant categories and attributes for your listing from the back end of your listing when you're listing it. However, your title and tags will require you to do some research. And lucky for us, this is not a guessing game. We have several places where we can find the best titles and tags. In the last lesson of your pre-launch workbook, you'll see that I've created a brainstorming page for you. This is where you'll want to, once again, think like your customer and start writing down the search terms that you think you would type if you were a customer searching for something like your item. Also, feel free to ask a friend or a partner for what they would call your item, as sometimes you'll discover unique language that you may not have used as the creator of the item. Be sure to think outside the box in terms of occasions for which your item may be a great gift, materials you used, any trends where your item may have relevancy, etc. Then head on over to the Etsy search bar and type in various keywords to see what other keywords the Etsy search bar will auto-populate for you. Now, these are not necessarily the best keywords. I'll show you how to find those in a moment, but they are popular keywords and can be a helpful place to brainstorm from. Write any keywords down that are relevant to your item onto your brainstorming page that you think could be good so that you can further research them. Now, take a look at your biggest competitors on Etsy in your category and see what titles and tags they're using. But just because they're doing well with a specific set of keywords doesn't mean that you should use those exact keywords. I typically jot down just a few keywords from my biggest competitors' titles and also examine their tags, which can be found at the bottom of their listing. Keep in mind, this doesn't mean I'm going to use them. They're just part of my brainstorm, and I'll only use the keywords if I find compelling data to support that they're actually the best keywords for my listing. So how do we determine which keywords are the best? Which ones should we actually use? To do that, I use a best practices tool called Marmalead to evaluate the keywords from my previous brainstorm and to find more keywords that I might not have found or thought of, and also research each keyword to see which have the highest search volume and are the most engaging. Marmalead is a paid subscription, and in my opinion, it's well worth the money. As I mentioned before, there's a link to a free 2-week trial of Marmalead in the About section of this course, and I highly recommend you check them out. I never launch a listing without running my SEO through Marmalead to ensure it's as good as it can possibly be. What's great about Marmalead is that it will show you real monthly search volume, engagement, and competition for each keyword you research, which allows you to make quick work of determining the keywords that are most worthy of your item. There are many tools you can use on Marmalead to help you find and compare keywords. But in comparing them, you're going to compare keywords across 3 pieces of data. Number 1, how many real monthly searches does the keyword receive? Number 2, how much engagement does the keyword receive? Number 3, how much competition is there for that keyword? Meaning, how many shops are using it and trying to get found for it? Marmalead has a color-coded system of green, yellow, and red to help you to quickly process through those 3 pieces of data to see where keywords are strong, green, average, yellow, or less than ideal, red, on their signature Marmometers. Here are some key elements to understand about how search volume, engagement, and competition level usually pan out among keywords. Number 1, the more search volume a keyword has, typically the more competition it also has. It's harder to make conversions or purchases, sales, from high search volume keywords. Number 2, long-tail keywords are defined as a very specific keyword phrase, such as watercolor floral art print. When you search for a long-tail keyword in Marmalead, you can expect that you will not see a large volume of searches for that phrase. However, Long tail keywords are strongly recommended because they have less competition, and when someone does search for that and you are relevant for that, then it's much more likely that you will get a sale. Number 3, the key question about which keywords to ask yourself is this: for my product, do I use high search volume broad keywords or low search volume long tail keywords? Which is better? The answer is there's pros and cons to both, but I recommend launching your listing with a mix of both long tail and broad keywords. Here's why. The entire goal that you're working towards is making a sale. We need to see your listing convert. We need your listing quality score to be a good one. We need good customer experiences, which you can't give if you don't have any customers. If you use nothing but broad high search volume keywords on your listing, then it could be very difficult to compete and you may get lost in that sea of competition. That's why using less competitive keywords can help you to get your first conversion faster. However, what I'm teaching you is to launch the best listing you can possibly launch, and also that you're going to be briefly getting a boost in search where Etsy is going to be actively testing your listing out, and I want you to get the most out of that testing period that you can. And if Etsy starts giving you views for some of those high search volume keywords and you get engagement, then that's going to accelerate your growth. Big competitive keywords have high search volume, and if you can regularly get shown on page 1 for a high volume keyword and convert, then that's a really good thing. So I want you to go for that. I don't think that it's good to shy away from big competitive keywords, especially when you've created an item and a listing that truly can compete for that keyword. So the mix of high and low search volume keywords is where I like to be. Once you've conducted your research, you should have a list of a good mix of keywords that you can bring to your listing. Now, what do we do with these keywords? We're going to turn them into our title and our tags. From this list, we want to select 1 to 2 keywords that we really want to target. And those keywords should be very descriptive of what our product is and should be at the front of our title. I like to use every character of my title, but I also know that my title will largely be cut off, especially on mobile. So I want my title to be easily read and understood for the shopper. Craft a title that's keyword rich, but not keyword stuffed, and put your keywords into a sentence that is easily read by human shoppers. Use the 7-comma rule to ensure your title has less than 7 commas to avoid being perceived as keyword stuffed. Any focus keywords that are in your title should also be in your tags, and you'll be most relevant for those keywords because those are your target or focus keywords if they're present in both your title and your tags. Be sure to keep them in the exact same order, and if you run out of tag characters, then you need to break up your keywords. Here's how you do that. If my title is watercolor floral nursery printable for baby girl nursery, then I would break that up to be watercolor floral, floral nursery, nursery printable, baby girl nursery. I would not want to flip girl nursery to be nursery girl because changing the order changes the relevancy rank. Once your title is fully incorporated into your tags, you simply need to add your tags in from your list of keywords until you have added all 13 tags. The same principles of overlapping keywords applies to any long tail keywords that do not fit into a single tag. Once you've completed your brainstorm worksheet, research and rank your keywords using Marmalade, you'll have completed our final rule of engagement. Again, there's no rush to complete your workbook. Take your time and do the work to prepare for your launch. It's the preparation step that's so often missed by new sellers and thus the big opportunity to launch big on Etsy. In the final lesson, come look over my shoulder as I launch a new shop and a new listing. This will help you to see the back end of an Etsy listing and how your pre-launch workbook will aid you as you go.